Hi there! Today we're learning English while we travel in Singapore. After my trip to Chiang Mai in Thailand, we stopped in Singapore for 2 nights on the way home to Melbourne. In today's video, we'll check into our hotel and then go for a hike in a national park with some wild monkeys. You can speak along with me and use this video for shadowing practice, or you can relax and listen along. If you're new to learning English and want to feel more confident using it while traveling, studying, or living abroad, this video series will help you understand everyday English in real situations. In this series, I've used the 3,000 most common English words to help you learn quickly through comprehensible input. I make new videos every week, so please subscribe to see them every Sunday. Okay, let's go for a walk. After our flight from Thailand, we took a taxi from Singapore Airport to our hotel. When we arrived, we walked into the hotel lobby. The lobby is the main entrance area of a hotel. It's where guests check in and check out. You often find the reception desk here. Reception is where the staff help guests with their rooms. Let's listen to our conversation from when we checked in and see what English you can understand. Hi, we're just here to check in.
Can I get your passport?
Yeah, right. Do you have your passport?
Yes. So you just need.
Oh, just one?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, just help me fill in your email and sign at the last page.
Okay, thank you. The checkout time is before 11?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Will we be able to leave our bags here on the checkout desk?
Thanks.
So this is your room key, 953, level 9. I'll leave this at the back here.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
At the reception desk, we also asked if we could leave our luggage at the hotel on our last day. Our checkout time was 11 a.m, but our flight didn't leave until 9:30 p.m, so we needed somewhere safe to store our bags. We were able to leave our luggage behind a locked door. Let's take the lift up to our floor. Sometimes a lift is called an elevator. They're the same thing. I'll push the button and get in the lift. I have to scan my key card to access the floor I'm staying on. The lift had glass walls, so you could see every floor as you went up. It was quite a strange design, and the lift was also pretty dark. We've arrived at our floor. I'll use our key card to open the door. The room was quite small. To the right of the entrance, there was a small space to hang up some clothes. I've already hung up my blue shirt. There was also a kettle with complimentary tea and coffee. Complimentary means free. The hotel gives it to you at no extra cost. There were also 2 mugs. Below that was a safe. A safe is a small, locked box where you keep valuable items. For example, you might put your passport or some money in a safe. Under the safe, there was a mini fridge. Inside the fridge were 2 small, complimentary bottles of water. We've put our suitcase here in the entrance. We tied a pink bow on our suitcase so it was easy to recognize at the airport. I'll move the suitcase out of the way of the door. The room had one large bed that took up most of the space. The sink was actually outside the bathroom, which was also a little unusual. There's a blue and a pink cup next to the tap in the sink. I've placed my toiletries and our toothbrushes on the left side of the sink. Toiletries are small, personal items like toothpaste, shampoo, and a toothbrush. The hotel also provided a complimentary toothbrush and toothpaste. They also gave us a shower cap. A shower cap protects your hair from getting wet in the shower. From this window, we can see the view. We're able to see the hotel's pool, and we can see a little bit of the river. The power outlets in Singapore have a different shape to Australian outlets. The outlets are different all over the world, so I've brought a power adapter with me. I need to charge my phone, but the plug doesn't match. This side of the power adapter plugs into the wall, and then I can plug my own charger into the adapter. Then I'll plug the whole thing into the wall. Now I can charge my phone. Okay, now that we've checked in, let's go and explore Singapore. I've visited Singapore before, and one of my favorite things about the city is the parks and gardens. This time, we decided to visit McRitchie Reservoir, where there's a walking trail and a treetop walk. I had heard that we would see some monkeys on our walk, but I didn't expect them to be on top of a car in the car park. Let's start our walk. The weather in Singapore was very hot and humid. Humid means that the air feels wet or heavy because there's a lot of moisture in it. Tropical places like Singapore often have humid weather. Because of the warm climate, tropical plants grow very well here. Everything looked bright green and vibrant. There were huge trees and thick plants everywhere. Above us, there was a thick canopy of leaves. A canopy is the top layer of leaves in a forest. It created lots of shade and made the air feel much cooler. The path ahead was made from stones placed together. Next to the path, we saw a small stream. A stream is like a small river. I wonder if the path gets covered by water easily when it rains here. We heard something above us in the trees. It's a monkey. It's sitting on the rail of the boardwalk. There were a few monkeys that came to say hello. They walked right past us and continued down the boardwalk. These monkeys were wild. That means they live naturally in the forest. They're not pets, and they're not part of a zoo. They're native to Singapore, which means that they naturally live in that area. The forest was incredible. Look at these vines that have twisted around each other. The monkeys like to climb and play in them. The trail here was mostly flat, so the hike wasn't very difficult. But because the weather was hot, the walk still felt a little tiring. We stopped for a short break to drink water. We also reapplied some sunscreen and we sprayed mosquito repellent so we wouldn't get bitten. The sun overhead is getting really hot. It was about 35 degrees. I'm glad we were covered by the trees. It looks like the treetop walk is up ahead. A couple of monkeys were sitting patiently on these rocks. The one on the left did a big yawn. Even though these monkeys are wild, it seems like they're quite comfortable around humans. They're used to us walking around their home. But it was important to not get too close and to respect their space. It was a real novelty to see these monkeys. A novelty means something unusual or special that you don't see often. Let's fill up our water from this tap before we head to the treetop walk. From here, we had to walk down some stairs. Then we followed the path to the entrance of the bridge. On busy days, you sometimes need to wait in line. Luckily, it wasn't very crowded today. Before entering the bridge, we walked through a small hut. Inside the hut, a park ranger was sitting in front of a fan. A park ranger is a person who works in a national park and helps to protect the area. After the hut, we arrived at the bridge. The bridge was really narrow. People could only walk in one direction at a time. We started walking across the bridge above the treetops. There was no shade from the forest anymore. On the right of the bridge, we could see bright blue sky and big, fluffy clouds. The view was amazing. We were standing high above the forest canopy. It really felt like we were in the middle of a jungle, even though the city is still nearby. The colors were so beautiful. When I looked down, I could see the tops of the trees. It looked like a huge green blanket draped over the forest. We reached the end of the rope bridge, and now it's time to walk out the other side. I'll follow this family in front of me. The bridge starts to slope back down to the trail now. We're starting to walk back down underneath the trees. There's still rope netting on the sides of the path. Then we had to walk back up some stairs. I thought the trail was going to be flat, but it still wasn't too difficult. It looks like there's more stairs up ahead. And then we headed back down the stairs. We must have been walking around a small hill. When you travel, do you like to relax and rest? Or do you like to be active? Some people prefer relaxing holidays. They like to chill out and sit by the pool. Other people enjoy exploring cities and going shopping. As you can tell, I love to walk around gardens and nature. I find that relaxing too. We've almost made it back to the start of the walk again. I've loved spending time in Singapore's national parks. After that, we were very hot, so we decided to head to a market to get some lunch and to drink a big, refreshing juice. Thanks for joining me today in Singapore. What do you call the main entrance area of a hotel where guests check in? The lobby. What word can you use for something that's free, given without any extra cost? Complimentary. What word means something unusual or special that you don't see often? Novelty. How do you describe weather where the air feels wet and heavy because there's a lot of moisture in it? Humid. What is a word for a small flowing river? A stream. Thanks for joining me today. If you like more videos like this, there's a lot more coming. I'm creating extra listening and speaking practice videos to help you learn English quickly. Where would you like to go next? And which everyday English topics would you like to practice more? Let me know in the comments. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more simple Australian English practice. See you next time.